1. How's it going, everybody? I'm Eddie Mack, the lead voice of the Destiny Championship Alliance, and I am here with the second ever DCA Triple Crown champion and currently one half of the DCA Tag Team Champions, the Determination Machine, the former mayor of the Violence Party, Malik Brown. Malik, good to see you once again.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
All right, Gabe, at Takedown 100, you will be defending the tag titles with your brother Dante Styles against the Testament. Want to get what your thoughts on that as we're closing in on that historic episode.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, me and Dante, we haven't always been seeing eye to eye, and there's points I didn't really trust him. I still got my issues, but I guess we both know what we want, so we're just gonna go in there and we're gonna keep those titles. I mean, yeah, we're facing Butcher and we're facing Cross, and we know what they're capable of. But I say our chances are pretty high.
Which brings me to this: you and Dante were brought back to you were brought together by DCA owner Balalenka at the 5th anniversary show, and you weren't even aware of this prior to it happening when you two took on the Samoan Kill Squad for the tag titles. But in the time since you two were forced to team up, I guess there's been at least a cordial. It's been cordial between the two of you, or has things been patched up? I know you mentioned there's still issues there between the two of you.
It's only cordial because Dante wants a belt and I want a belt. I'll be honest. It only was cordial because we knew what we wanted. Dante wanted the belt because he wanted money, and I wanted to make history. Yeah, there's still issues because I didn't know until it happened, and I spent the better half of that entire match getting my ass handed to me, while Dante just watched and mocked and ridiculed me and said, "Oh, you got it, you're a big man," Yeah, there's a part of me that don't trust him because there's nothing to trust. This was the same man that tried to end my career because he wanted me to notice him.
I was about to bring that up. I'm sure that has come up in conversation in the time since you two won the tag titles together, or have you sort of tried to stay away from that?
I try to stay away from a lot of stuff because there's a reason I'm trying to, I guess, better myself. Because Eddie, I'll put it like this: there was a point where I looked in the mirror and I did not like what I saw. So yeah, I may have brought it up, but I always try to keep myself away from it because if I do bring it up, then that'll lead to me going into a place I don't want to be in.
And and this next question, I'm not sure if that is going to bring up that point where this change brought about. In recent months, you have took on sort of a bit of a new mantra. You're going through a rebirth through determination, gaining victory through self-destruction. Now, it seems that the Violence Party era, I guess you're trying to put that in the rearview mirror. Is that something you want to disassociate yourself with? going forward? What brought about what brought about this change?
I've been I've been doing this for 7 going on 8 years now. And the 3 to 4 years I was, and I think the 2 years in DCA did something to me. And
You were a world
everything.
champion. You were a world champion for half of that time.
I was. I was.
In fact, for most of the time you were in DCA, you've been a champion at some point. You felt at least, you felt a belt.
I did. And everything was okay. Everything was like, alright. And then the craziness started to happen after that. And I guess I let somebody else take over. And that's where you start noticing that I started to. Oh, let's be honest, I lost myself. I lost my mind. I lost my mind because I was backed in the corner with nothing to do. And what I thought could help didn't help. All it did was break me down more and more to the point where I hated what I became, but I didn't have enough care to stop what I became. I mean, everybody knows the story. I'm not going to go into it, but because of that, I had to look back and realize that I hated myself. Like, legitimately hated what I became. So, am I trying to put the violence party behind me? I'm trying to bury it. I'm trying to kill it. I know I can't because that's a part of me. And common sense dictates if you try to bury something, it'll come out. So I guess I'm just trying to suppress it.
And this is even though that persona that you took on during that time got you the most success that you've had in your career.
Yeah, and it got me the most. It may have got me success, but it also kind of burned bridges. It kind of broke certain things that were my fault and things that weren't my fault. Situations that could have been handled better but just got escalated because no one bothered to say anything. Miscommunication is a hell of a drug, you know?
It is.
So, something that could have been easily talked about ended up just being brought out to the public, and it escalated more and more, and it just turned me into this bitter person that just wanted everyone to suffer like he was suffering.
How's Malik Brown feeling today? Like right at this moment, as you and I are sitting here doing this interview.
I'm getting a little bit better. Days I still feel like watching the world burn, but they're not as bad as before.
Let's talk about your so far your brief time in CCL. Of course, your first appearance was at the Big 100, and you had a purpose at the Big 100. And I guess this goes back to DCA too. I guess it's sort of in the same Venn diagram, if you will.
Huh.
You had a message for your longtime friend D-Wall to come home to the Destiny Championship Alliance, the promotion that he left 3 years ago. Takedown 100 is, as we're recording this, it's in a couple of days. Have you heard from D Wall over the last 3 days? Do you know for sure if he's going to be back?
No, I don't. I mean, we talk, but he's not going to tell me whether he's coming back or not.
I'm sure he's brought it up to him.
I have, but he's just said, "When I do, you'll know." That's all he told me.
What are you hoping for with D Wall's return to DCA?
The professional answer would be a revival of DCA. The personal answer, for him to finally come back and have every single person in the back stop blaming me for something I didn't do.
I know this next question is a bit touchy, but you and I both know that the possibility is there. What if D Wall doesn't show up?
Then we'll move on. I guess we'll move on. You know,
Yes, that's
if if he doesn't show up, then hey, cool. Can't show up. He really can't. So fuck it. You know.
fair enough. You appeared last week on Adrenaline episode 101, and you were about to state what your goals were in the CAW Champions League. No one interrupt you tonight. What are your goals in the CCL?
I guess no. There's no guessing. I want to be that reality check to everybody because I mean you know everyone in CCL says they're a dynasty, they're a franchise, they're the greatest, they're the best, they're a wrestling professional, they're this. I just want to be that guy to kind of bring them back to earth and tell them no, you're not. Maybe because you're where you're at, you are, but now you're going to face somebody that has made a living out of trying to prove people wrong. I want to be a champion, not just a CCL world champion. No, I want to hold every belt I can literally hold. That's what I want to do.
Speaking of which, you are the number one contender to the VWU World Championship. You beat Smokey for that title, for that opportunity back at Prestige, and now it seems like, and I don't know I don't know the whole story yet, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like Smokey is coming after you. It's like he tried to get in the Great D set. In the Great D set, he told Great D, "You gotta take care of Malik Brown, or he's going to take your spot." How do you respond to that?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of lost contact with Smokey after VWU. He didn't. I usually try to talk to him. He doesn't do anything. But now I hear he's trying to get. I hear he's trying to, get D take me out because he feels I'm trying to take a spot. I mean, part of that's true, but at the same time, if he's such a great legend, you shouldn't worry about whether or not I'm taking a spot. And honestly, if D lets Smokey get in his head like that, then that really brings up questions about D's character. If anything, I'm getting curious and confused about Smokey's character now.
You and me both, if I'm being honest. I mean, there's a
I mean, this was the man that broke me in. This is the man for the 8 years of my career was my number one fan, the guy that actually cared about me when no one else would care about me. The guy that would go out of his way at any show and tell everybody, yo, this guy's the truth. And now he's back. He's more deranged, and now he's telling people, now he's telling somebody, now he's telling D that he needs to take me out because I'm threatening his spot. In a sense, I am, but if D's that good, he doesn't have to worry about me, right?
Sure.
In fact, D should be happy he's got a challenge like me. Because if he's that kind of guy that doesn't want to show that he's not ready to go into that good night, then why don't you go up against the guy that gives everybody a fight? That way, when you finally beat me, you can say you are the best, that you cement your status.
So I'm guessing this. I'm gonna ask. I know we're just in an interview setting. We're not in the ring. You know, this isn't in an official capacity. I'm guessing this is a formal challenge, right? I'm guessing. Formal challenge, right, D?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, D was the first dude I wanted to fight as soon as I got into CCL because, I'm sorry, our first two matches didn't really mean nothing. If D's any kind of man, he would not like the fact how our matches went. He would be that guy that wants to beat me fair and square, and I want to be the guy that wants to beat him fair and square. So, hey, I'll be at CCL. I'll be in that ring. Ready, willing, and able.
That would be a hell of a match. I would be very interested in seeing you two go at it again. I want to switch gears now. Over the summer, you came to ZZW, and you had a confrontation with Zaya Morgan, the company's owner, about the. You basically spilled the beans about the financial situation with the company, and basically all the skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, that was. A lot of shit happened before I came out there. I'll just put it like that. I guess I'm gonna just have to start off. When I was doing the NIS and everything, I knew Zaya then. So, we're just doing the typical villain hero deal. I mean, he was the first dude I said, hey, Zaya, I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna slap you. He's like, cool. That'll get you heat. He's cool like that. I mean, even with NIS and everything, we were cool. There was nothing wrong with us. I would literally drive him from state to state because he never had a ride. So we were cool for a while.
Really?
Then, yeah, we were.
Right.
There was like no issues between us. Like, yeah, we maybe on DCA and everything, we were like super angry and aggro to each other. That was an act. So we were chill. But then, in CZW, everything was cool. But then Balalenka started coming in. And so now things got to change because I was at a point where I'm doing matches for ZCW. Hell, house shows. I'm at house shows. Then I start not being at house shows. I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be the Pride champion, and I don't show up at the show. Okay, fine. So there's this angle. Everybody knows I fought Sammy and I lose the belt. Okay, fine. That's cool. And I'm thinking, because Aya said to me straight up, he's like, Malik, it's going to be you, Shinsuke, and Sammy. It's going to be a three-way feud for the Pride title. That was the original idea. All of a sudden, that's not the case. Then it gets to the point where I don't get called for shows at all. And his excuse was, well, you're injured. I go, no, I'm not. Oh, my shoulder's kind of acting up? Yeah, no, that's cool. I can still go. No. So that's his excuse. And I'm like, DCA. Huh?
We seen it go on DCA at the time, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute, no. That's a fucking act. My show ain't really that fucked up. But no, he doesn't put me there in the show. And I'm like, okay, why? So I end up showing up anyway. Because we did a show in DCA and it was close to where ZZW was doing there. So I go out there and I do my thing and I shake fans' hands and all that. And I go in the back, talk to everybody. And it was Luca, Micah, Xander, few others. I think Sammy was there too. I don't know. But we're just talking. And if you remember when I lost my mind and shot on him, I said you'd be surprised what you hear when you're out on the field with a cooler full of beer, a baseball bat, and you're venting. Well, that one night, me, Micah, Luca, The Oppression, Xander, Steele, and some more people. I forget who. Excuse me, it's blurry because we were drinking. But well, we were out in the field and we were just talking. And after I think 4 drinks, we're starting to vent. So Luca's got a baseball bat and he's just taking the beer bottles and he's smashing them, and we just start talking. And it's like, I think Xander puts up, all right, so whose checks bounced this week? Everybody raised their damn hand.
Whoa.
And Luca was like, yeah, that's my 4th one. And he was like, yeah, it's my 4th damn one. I'm kind of tired of it. He told me he was going to handle it and he never did. And so this is where I also found out something else that, and usually I would have respect to not say this, but after everything Zahaya has done to me, I don't give a shit anymore. Luca not only works, but he also handles the money. Luca Khan handles the money for Zahaya and ZZW.
So are you? I don't want to put words in your mouth. So are you saying like? So are you saying Luca might have pocketed some of the money, might have siphoned it off elsewhere, or?
Luca looked all of us in the eyes and said, I know what we make at the door, and what I saw in the books don't match.
Ooh, I see what you're saying now.
And then what pissed him off more, he goes, and that money doesn't go to me, doesn't go to you, doesn't go to most of the women's roster, didn't go to Akira, didn't go to anyone, didn't even go to Vin. Most of it went to Kenny, went to Mill, went to Walter, It went to Katrina for like that 1 to 2 time appearance. It went to a lot of people, but it didn't go to the people that mattered. And then he found out, he's like, there's one name on there, and that was when everybody said, "Oh well, shit," and it was Balalaika. Her name was on the fucking. Her name was under the money. So at that point, all of us are like, "Well," and Steele's like, "Well, that fucking explains why Kira don't show up to shows now."
And she's still that women's champion, right?
Yeah, it was like, she's your women's champion. You don't put her on the fucking show. You don't pay her either.
What?
No, like, I'm
What,
there.
what are you
because,
doing?
Because no, because I actually would drive Akira to the shows. So we're like,
I can only imagine. I can only imagine what those drives are like.
I'm like, no, I'm thinking like, she's one of the biggest draws in fucking women's wrestling. She doesn't speak much, but you don't have the audacity to like put her on the fucking show. She's your women's champion.
That is baffling to me.
Yeah, I mean, draws are interesting. She doesn't speak much. She'll like get 1 or 2 words in, but everything else is just like,
But I'm pretty sure she had quite a bit to say about the financial situation whenever that gets brought up.
The only thing she said, well, the only thing she said, I was like, "So what happened?" She goes, "We got gypped."
Wait.
She says "we" a lot.
So wait. So when she says I mean, we're not talking about we as in you and her.
No, she's talking about herself. She addresses herself as "we."
Wait.
So she goes,
So,
"We got gypped."
so is this like a regular thing? Like she's always she's always addressing herself as we.
Yeah,
So it's not, so I'm not weird, like,
no,
because I hear
no.
in these promos just like, who's this we? Who's we? I see you. Okay.
I mean, she doesn't really show herself. Her will show her face in public outside of her matches. Only like a few people know knows her what she looks like, because she always covers her face up except for her eyes. But I mean, yeah, she goes and calls herself "we."
Hmm.
And the one couple of times she does talk to me, she just goes, "I remember that time we after she got back from a meeting." She's like, "We got gypped." She's still, while still holding the ZZW title, by the way. We got gypped.
That is crazy.
And then she went, "But Priza gets everything."
I was about to ask, does she get paid?
Priza got paid, not much, but she got paid.
So, compared to other performers, compared to other performers, I guess I would say you would agree with me when you say when I say she's underpaid.
Akira?
Well, not just Akira. Elizabeth, compared to like what I know Akira's underpaid compared to Elizabeth. I'm assuming, or
most of the women's wrestlers don't get paid enough than what they should get. And I'm talking about everyone. Everyone.
and this promotion is financially. You would say they're doing fine financially, or
He'll act like it, but I mean, he wasn't before who showed up. She wasn't. He wasn't. He would, because I said it before, and what I'm saying is literally what Luco or anyone else could tell you. What he would make at the door would go into Kenny or anyone else's pocket because he would pay them way too. He would overpay them and barely pay everyone else. So if you ever saw CZW and you see Luca like shooting on Kenny and AJ and all them, that's like legitimate. He's legitimately pissed because he's like, you fucking come in here and you're taking opportunities from us.
And now they're taking money.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing. Ever since Luca became champion, and since Akira showed up, they're the two biggest draws that make the most money, right?
Right.
But no one's seeing it.
Huh.
And everyone else works just as hard, but you don't see it because he wants to build up Sammy. He wants to build up Kenny. He wants to build up Okada whenever he can get there. He'll build up Walter. And, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but there's a rumor he's trying to drive Akira out. I don't know if it's true.
Are you serious?
I don't know. It's just a rumor.
Okay.
But he does. Yeah.
That's like one of the faces of the company. Supposedly one of the faces of the company, and I don't understand it.
So, add on to that, and the fact that I'm hearing that he's talking shit about me behind my back and saying how I'm an unreliable draw and I'm this and I'm that. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't think he's really like that. Come on, you know. So that night at that house show, I'm sitting there with the guys because I actually got to be on the house show. And he's like, "Oh, you can just cut a promo. I'll give you 5 minutes. You can talk about whatever." So I'm with Xander and everybody, and Micah shows up, and he pulls his phone out, and he says, "Press play." And I do. It's a conversation with Zahia. Mac Waters is there. Steele was in there too. He just came back, but Steele was there in that recording, and I hear him say to Mac and everybody, mostly about me, I'm not going to pay Malik. In fact, this will probably be the last time Malik even shows up at a show because I don't need him anymore.
Ooh.
I only did this for a favor to Darius because he bugged me about putting Malik in. I never wanted him in. I don't need him. I can literally take anybody out there with barely a name, give him his gimmick, and it would not change a thing. You know, he's dogging me he's dogging me in this recording. And what made it worse, it was just like, I just fucking drove you to the arena too, so I hear that. And coupled with everything else I've been hearing, and the fact that I knew I wasn't going to get paid because he said I wasn't going to get paid for this appearance. And after I know that he doesn't barely pay anyone else, I said, fuck it. And I went out. And that's when I lost it, and I snapped, and I shot on him. And that's when he slapped me. That's when I beat the shit out of him. That's when I tried to do everything. I tried as humanly possible to break him in half. Because if you see it, when I put him in the move, I saw it. No, I was shoot trying to break his arms.
Oh, I believe it.
No, I shoot trying to break his arms.
I believe
it. I was pissed. Because, like, he slapped me, and I was just like, worst fucking mistake you ever made.
Everything you did for ZZW, and it's like it doesn't mean a thing. Like you drove him personally, but and then all this stuff, everything
drove him personally. I fucking gave him Vin, in which Vin became a mentor to all the dudes in the back, became a mentor to Luca. Dudes go to Vin, like Xander would go to Vin and ask him for advice, and freaking Luca would go to Vin for advice, and I gave him Vin, I gave him Blackout, and freaking everybody loves the fact that Blackout was there and they got their shine because they got bonkers about it. Darren Payne loved the fact that he was working with Gorilla Black because he was like, I always wanted to work Gorilla. Now I got a chance to. Like, I gave you dudes. I helped you out. I damn near gave you the shirt off my back, and here you are on recording that I'm hearing that I ain't worth shit. And I don't know, I just started to have a flashback about somebody in DCA. I had a flashback, and at that point, I kind of flipped. And I says, no, not the fuck again. This shit's not happening. Nope, I'm ending it. So I did. Which resulted in me being suspended. Which, that ain't gonna stop me.
Wait,
bitch, I will buy those tickets. They're cheap anyway. I'll sit on the front row seats. You dime-bag piece of shit. Fuck you, Zaya.
well,
You're a fucking embarrassment to your family.
Just for the record, none of your CCO checks have bounced since you've gotten there, right?
I hope to God they didn't. Mr. Settlement.
I'm pretty sure the money's good. If not, I'll talk to some people about that.
Shit, no, they've been all right. Fucking CZW, I gotta worry about.
I know Zahaya threatened to sue you. I don't know. Yeah, he has been on record.
Yeah, I know. And I sat and I looked him and no, he actually threatened to sue me. Like after I got out, like when I left the ring, he actually said, "I hope you have a good lawyer." While he's being like fucking helped out, he's like, "I hope you have a good lawyer, you son of a bitch." I just go and I just laugh, and I'm like, "You're not gonna win that, you know that, right?" Because the moment he tries to sue me, and I know this for a fact, the moment he tries to sue me, Luca will be right there.
Because like you, between you and Luca, like you have enough to bring that company to its knees, pretty much.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I got enough to do it, and I mean, not only that, not just Luca, fucking Manuel Rodriguez. He can come in if he wanted to.
Oh,
if he chooses, because I mean, Manuel was the dude that gave Zahaya his damn company.
Mm.
Like, if it wasn't for Manuel, there would be no CZW. Prizu wouldn't be wrestling if it wasn't. I mean, she'd be wrestling, but she wouldn't be on that platform that CZW was.
right.
And he kind of fucked up and ruined the family, ruined the relationship, because he had one job and he fucked up and felt that money was more important than making sure who Miguel was facing wasn't an unsafe individual that broke him. And then feigned ignorance, saying, "No, I didn't know he was that way," when he did.
I guess we'll have to see where that goes from there. Let's talk about happier things.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
One person you have vouched for recently, one person you vouched for, not just recently, but over the last year or so, Sako Hagiwara, who won the CCL Bombshells title last weekend.
Oh, that was a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, that was a hell of a match, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It was. I was one of the first to go up there and say congratulations to her.
So how are you feeling about it? Because I've been hearing a lot of different opinions over the last few days about Sakura being in CCL and now she has one of their titles. How are you feeling about it?
I'm happy for her. I mean, sure, it's gonna piss people off because she's like, "Oh, well, she's the champion and she's not signed to the company." I'm like, fuck fucking people do that all the time. You know that ain't the first time somebody's has had a championship in another league and they weren't signed to the company.
Sure.
I mean, shit, that's nothing different. And she has a legitimate reason. She wants to make that belt. I mean, in her mind, she wants to make that belt the title. She wants to make it the title. So she's not going to sign because she would much rather get competition than wait for it.
I mean,
Which who can blame her for that?
looking, it took me a bit to come around to her line of thinking, and like now I'm excited for what the possibilities are.
Well, that's everybody's problem. Everybody looks at her and they're like, she complains too much, she bitches and she moans. And I'm like, fucking walk in her shoes and tell me you wouldn't do the same thing. Don't sit there and judge her and act like she's wrong for how she feels. You never been that competitive before in your life? Have you never wanted something so fucking bad that you can literally taste it, but it gets snatched away from you, and now you're back to square one because that's all you hear every day?
I've been there.
I mean, shit. You can't stop. I mean, I'm sorry. You can't stop what is said in your head. God knows I've tried. When you hear over and over again that you're a failure, you won't amount to anything. You're this. You're that. You're a woman, therefore you're sleeping around. Or you're a male, so like in my case, you're too short, so don't expect to be a big threat. Or, you hear that so many times that even when it stops, in a sense, it never stops.
Because you believe it. If you hear it enough times, you believe it. Right?
Yeah, and that's what you hear every day. Now you're pissed because you're just like, well, fuck, now I gotta go out there and bust my ass 200% because, fuck, I gotta prove myself harder to people. And then people want to, and then those very same people who did call you that, or are just on the outside looking in, are just sitting there going, "Why does he go? Why do you do this? Why are you so obsessed? Why are you this? Why are you that?" Because all my fucking life, I had to hear that. I had to hear I wasn't the best. I had to hear that I was never going to amount to anything. So I gotta bust my ass harder. Because those dudes that got all the fame and all the fortune and got all that, they got the easy route. I literally gotta go beneath the worms to climb the mountain. I gotta unbury myself just so I can make that trek up the mountain and then stay there.
So you perhaps more than anyone else can absolutely relate to what Sakura is going through and has been going through as of late.
Yeah.
Because
I was one of her biggest critics, and after a while I had to stop because I was like, God, I'm a fucking hypocrite. Shit, I was literally that person. 4 years ago, nobody knew who the fuck I was. 4 years ago, I was just some kid everybody barely heard about, and was like, "What's?" 4 years ago, and this, I was this obnoxious loudmouth that just tried to get under people's skin for the sake of trying to get attention because I knew I'm better than everybody. I just wanted a chance, and I barely got them. It wasn't until I actually got on the platform that it finally fucking hit. And now people are like, well, damn, that Malik is a legend. That Malik is this, that Malik is that. But I'm still like, shit, I haven't proven anything yet. And that's how Sakura feels. She's like, yeah, I won the Fever title. I've been a champion before, but shit, what have I really proven?
She's Wildcats champion. She's a Bombshells champion now.
Yeah, and she's just like, shit, what have I proven? What have I really proven?
Right. But and even though she's getting all these accolades, you and I both know what's eating at her. August 10th, 2018.
Yeah.
That match with Reiko.
Which, in this business, you have that one person you want to face. Because to you, they're that pinnacle. They're that obstacle you need to jump in order to say you're ready. Because you can win, you can be a multi-time world champion, and to that person, it doesn't matter if they haven't beaten that one person. For me, I could have been a 16-time world champion, but I wouldn't have been shit if I. But to me, it didn't. Those didn't matter unless I actually fought Smokey. Unless I fought Smokey and I beat him, then I can say I was ready. For Sakura, it was I can win so many belts, but until I beat Reiko, I am not convinced yet. But for her, it was more than just trying to prove it was the best. It was validation. It was validation and the nail on the coffin on what she had to hear all her life. I'm not a quitter. I'm not that. I'm not a quitter. I'm not sleeping around. I'm not any of these things that people call me. That's what Reiko was to her. And she didn't get it. And she broke down. We all break down.
You broke down.
I did. I broke down. Everybody breaks down when you can only put the world on your back for so long until it finally breaks you. And when it does, it's not a pretty sight. I've snapped before under pressure. Sakura snapped before under pressure. We've all done it.
Sakura's been on record saying she wants another opportunity at Reiko.
She'll get it.
I'm sure she will, and I think she deserves it.
She does. And I know, and Reiko, if she's any kind of woman that I know she is, she'll give it to her. Because I think now everyone is starting to get it. That's what I think. I'm not the only one that gets it. I think everybody now is starting to get it.
Right. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap this up with this. What does the future hold for the determination machine?
Well, let me let me do the wrestling thing for a quick minute. What does this hold for the determination machine and everything in between? The man, the myth, the legend in the making. Hashtag determination. Well, that means that you will see Malik Brown not go 100%, not go 105%. He will go 200% in any company that he's in. He is going to hold gold like no one else has held gold before. It doesn't matter CCW, CCL, DCA, AWF, COH, wherever I'm at, I am going to be a champion. I am going to collect the gold like Morgan Freeman in the Bone Collector collecting bones. I am going to be the most talked about guy in this year. That's what the future holds for me.
I would not doubt this man. He believes it, I believe it, and hopefully you believe it too. Malik, good to see you.
It's good to see you too, Eddie.
Let's do this again.
No, we should.